Hey, it's Mr. Muffin, Mr. Muffin's Trains, Atlanta, Indiana. How are you today? Kind of a special Wednesday edition. I got most of my work done, and I thought maybe I could hang out with you guys for a while. Today, Lionel released the October 2025 catalog with a couple of steam engines like they promised, and it was pretty exciting. And I thought I would just walk through it with you. When I was a kid growing up in Indianapolis, we had a radio station you could dial into on Sunday. And there was a guy that would read you the comics, going through the comic book, the Sundays in the paper, which was pretty cool. And I really enjoyed that. And so in the spirit of that, which just seems kind of lame now, I'm thinking about it, I thought maybe I could do this with you. I'm going to try to get all my sound adjusted. I've got, as you know, I have people that use my nerd station on Saturdays when I'm not here, and everything is changed. But anyway, so I thought we could look at the catalog together. So you'll remember this summer when they released the summer catalog, it was a relatively short catalog because they were planning 2 more catalog releases. One last month in September, and then this one in October. And these 3 together make up really the Volume 2 catalog. So we've had kind of like 3 smaller catalogs, 3 groups of announcements, which has really been exciting. I really enjoyed it. I hope that you have too. And so anyway, let's take a look at this October announcement, if it's okay. Share screen on the left. Let's see. I'm going to remember how I can scroll through this. So this is the cover of the catalog. They're using kind of the same cover with, this time it says October on there, of course. And then right in the beginning, they talk about the fact that the National Lionel Train Day is for 6, and we'll have the 125th anniversary Lionel boxcars here for you on the 6th, and be happy to take your order, and look forward to seeing you on December 6th. Here at Mr. Muffin's Trains. Let's see what else. So the big news in the catalog, I think, was the K4. So the Pennsylvania K4, the Pennsylvania Railroad, I'm told, had about 425 of these things on the rails. And they had a lot of different configurations, a lot of different trim, a lot of different markings, paint schemes, lettering, and so forth. And Lionel is make an attempt to represent a whole bunch of those versions, and I think that's terrific. It's a significant number of engines, and they're actually doing it in 2 different flavors. They're doing a brass hybrid version where parts of the engine are die cast and the rest are made out of brass, which gives them the ability to add all kinds of details and do cool things, and so they're doing the brass hybrid version. And then they're also offering the K4 in a totally die-cast version at a lower price point. So that's kind of what they're doing. So on this first page in the catalog, they're showing us 3 of the brass hybrid versions. The first one at the top has got a very interesting cowling across the top, a modification they made to try to manage smoke. Similar to what the Southern Pacific did, and you could see it on that. Now these engines are all brand new tooling from the drawbar forward, and I believe I heard Lionel say that in the past they actually had to lengthen the engine. The K4s they offered in the past were actually too long from a scale perspective in order to get all the electronics and the motor and everything in there. And so now, with the improvements we've made to components, they're able to reproduce the K4 as a true scale model. So this model right here is an accurate version of the K4. And they all have whistle steam, which is pretty cool. All have road-specific details. They all have sound systems that are specific to that particular engine. And so anyway, on this page right here, we see 3 of them. You can see the one at the top has the fluting across the top of the boiler to try to manage the smoke, and the one in the middle has got a different kind of configuration around that, and then the one below, again, same kind of thing, a different configuration. So 3 different versions of the K4, 3 different paint schemes, lettering's different, and these are all legacy brass hybrid engines. Then on the next page, here's another one that has partial cowling at the top, and then also has the smoke lifters, or the elephant ears, we can see on the front of I'm not coming through. It looks like I am. Let me check messages. I'm getting beeping in my ears. I want to make sure. My mic is super scratchy. I'm noticing that too. Let's see if I can make let's see if I can improve the mic. Is that a little bit better? Maybe. Let's see. Let's hope it comes through there better. Mic is super scratchy. All right. Good. Okay. So let's see. So the Jeb's asking a question about the tariff charges in the catalog. So the catalog, as it sits today, the pricing's assuming the current level of tariffs, and if things fall off or they go up, it could change. But today, if you bought the engine, if you order the engine and everything stays the way it is, these are the prices you'd pay. Yes, the Atlantics, those came out earlier in the year, and that was before the tariffs were put in place. So way better on the sound. Okay, that's good. All right, let's continue on if it's okay. There's a question here about base 3 and WTIU. I'll come back to that. So in this catalog, they've also offered 3 sets of passenger cars, and these are 18-inch aluminum cars. They've gone back to aluminum now, and they have people inside of them. They're LED lit and all that, and they're just beautiful cars. And these are the 18-inch cars for the Pennsylvania aluminum, painted in the Tuscan. There's a 4-car set, a 2-car set, and a Station Sounds diner. And we have them on our website at a pre-order discount. And if you order all 3 sets, if you will, the diner, the 2-car, and the 4-car in a bundle, you get an additional price break on our website. But anyway, this beautiful with the elephant ears and this paint scheme. I love this a lot. Again, whistle steam. Let me move on to the next page. So they're also doing 3 more models, pilot models, unpainted, as you can see here. The 3 different versions, different trim. Again, brass hybrid, different smoke configurations and so forth. Pretty cool. And you can see here that the front of the engine is pretty much all brass, right? And then there's some die-cast parts down below. And of course, the tender is the die-cast tender they've used in the past. There's really nothing new there in that. And then on the right-hand page, if I can keep from doing that with my mouse, are 3 different fantasy schemes. The one on the top, looks kind of like the T1 design. The one down below looks a little bit more like an S2 design. And then there's one at the bottom with the big running board stripe across there, and the Pennsylvania on the tender. It would really reminiscent of some of the passenger cars. So some pretty cool fantasy schemes that Lionel's brought to us here on this page. I like those a lot. And of course, they're going to do a Polar Express in the hybrid, and also Spirit of America 1776 in celebration of the 225th anniversary coming up, right? So beautiful versions of this engine. And the Polar Express, I think, is going to be a big hit. To have the steamer that size, that paint scheme to match the cars will be beautiful. Now we're moving on. Now these are the die-cast versions, so a little bit less money. Again, the K4 road-specific details. Notice the different tender here on this one at the top. On the left page, Pennsylvania with kind of that early passenger scheme down here on the lower left with the gold striping and stuff around. One of these is the original prototype, and I've forgotten which one. I didn't take notes, but I'll have to come up with more specific information about these. Oh, I could click on it and make it bigger. Hey, is that cool or what? I love that. So that gives us a better view of this. Kind of, oh, scroll around. I can move my mouse. This is cool. I'm learning my computer skills right here at the top. Oh, we go back. Oh, I love that. Gosh, you guys, how cool is that? Let's do it again. So over on the right-hand side, this shows the two different reds on the roof, the tight lettering of the Pennsylvania number 8. If I remember right, the Pennsylvania Railroad didn't like this numbering scheme, and they wanted to, or lettering scheme, they wanted to get away from the tight lettering. And then here we see it down here, road number 1433. Again, Pennsylvania K4, all new tooling. Oh, look at that. That's cool. 3 more on this page. Again, different configurations, different paint schemes, different lettering on the K4s. Again, all with whistle steam. I think there's 11 in total in the brass hybrid, and then probably another 11 in the these diecast versions. All right, then this is a set, the Broadway Limited set, which comes with the heavyweight passenger cars, and I just love these passenger cars. You'll remember back in the day, maybe with the first run of the Polar Express cars, we had a lot of problems with the trucks and the bearing caps coming off and all kinds of issues, and those are all behind us. Lionel's got these cars. The recent versions of the 18-inch heavyweight cars have been outstanding and great detail. The windows are good. They're loaded with people. I mean, I just love these. And so here is a set they're bringing out, Broadway Limited set with the appropriate Broadway Limited markings, the passenger markings on the K4, and there's a diner. The diner's lettered for Pennsylvania, and the rest of the cars, I think, are all lettered for Pullman. Maybe not. There's a station sound, lounge sounds, combine car that may be lettered for. Let me step on it over here and see if it'll make it bigger. It's lettered for Pullman too. Yep. So so I know at least one of them is lettered Pennsylvania, and the rest are lettered for Pullman. But beautiful set all together, Broadway Limited. Yeah, these are great. Really glad to see this. Then if you want to, you can buy the cars separately. They have different road names than the ones that are included in the set, but they've got 3 2-packs and a station sound, a diner, again with the green trucks, which I love. And these are terrific. And you could have one train going east, one train going west. These are beautiful. I'm just crazy for these heavyweight cars. The other engine they brought to us was a Southern Pacific AC9. Just an enormous steam engine for the guys on the West Coast. And this is showing they've got a Southern Pacific overnight freight set, which really emphasized the black, right, in this engine. And it was pointed out, if you look at this engine, it was pointed out yesterday that this would be a great engine to pull your Halloween cars. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't want to spend this kind of money on an engine just decorated for Halloween. You might. But if you don't want to, you could get this Southern Pacific engine, this set, and then load it up with Halloween cars. I think they're terrific. So included in the set are single sheath box cars, PS1 box cars. There's a flat car with trailers, and then a caboose. I think the flat car and the caboose are kind of fantasy schemes to kind of fill the set out. And there's a few more box cars offered farther down the catalog if you wanted to make the set longer. And I know they've used this paint scheme on freight cars before, so you might even have some already that you could add to this to make this train bigger. But I think this is beautiful. I'm thinking that one of those is going to stay here at Mr. Muffin's. Here's the individual AC9s on the left. Prototype. The first two, I believe, are coal. With the early trim and the polished side rods. Then the second engine's got the darkened side rods. I can click on this again, bring it up. Yeah. So that's as delivered with the white trim and the polished sidebars. side rods, and then down below, this new one down here, 3801, it's got the darkened side rods. Cool. And then at the bottom is one of the oil tender versions that they went to, right? And Lionel replaced the Fireblocks glow in the coal head on the engine because it not burning coal anymore, right? So they made some interior details to make it match having an oil tender. But I think these are beautiful. Big, big, beautiful Southern Pacific engine. Then over here on the right-hand side are some fantasy schemes. Obviously, Daylight at the top. Golden State paint scheme if you've got those cars down below. And then at the bottom of the page is the Lark, right? The Lark paint scheme. So these are fantasy schemes on an AC9, but they would match passenger cars you might already have and would be a really good addition to your fleet. 3 more over here. Again, fantasy. Here's a Delaware and Hudson AC9. Those of you Eastern Road guys like me, that's attractive. I like that. Down below is a Western Pacific in the silver and orange. Beautiful. Gosh, beautiful paint scheme. I like that a lot. And then over here is Rio Grande. And then the last of the 4 down here is Southern in the green. This all green. There's a lot of guys that model Southern, you know. Southern Railroad could have borrowed one of these. Makes sense to me. Beautiful paint scheme. We're gonna get orders for that. I'm sure of it. Now moving on to the PS1 boxcars. The railroads were trying to reduce weight, so they were trying to use aluminum cars and get some experience with those. And here Lionel's representing that with these silver cars with mostly black trim, but different colored trim on them. Chesapeake and Ohio, CNR, Great Northern, Nickel Plate, Rock Island, and Minneapolis and St. Louis. So beautiful, beautiful PS1 freight cars. These are the single sheath box cars like the one you saw in the set. Atlantic Coastline, 2 road numbers, Chicago and East and Illinois. Midland, they're in the middle, and the Burlington, I think. No, Green Bay, sorry. Green Bay Western on the bottom. I should click the button. I could see it better. Green Bay route down here on the bottom. Yep. 2 road numbers each. And up here is Milwaukee, my beloved Milwaukee. Jack and I are big Milwaukee fans. Minnesota, 3M, right? Minnesota Mining and Manufacturing. Boxcar, and then this one's another pair of Southern Pacifics you can add to that set. So pretty exciting. I like those. Then Line Chief Plus, they're bringing back the Rocket, and they even have a rocket exhaust effect. There's a red light in the back end of the jet engine when the thing's running down the track, and they're bringing us New York Central, as you can see on the left, right there. Santa Fe, the War Bonnet. We got a lot of people that love the War Bonnet. Pennsylvania up here. Oh my gosh. I may have to have one of these. That's pretty cool. And Blitzen. Oh yeah. It's for your holiday railroad. Pretty cool. Also, they did some Star Wars and Mandalorian versions. Here's a Looney Tunes version. We got a pre-order for one of these already today. And Star Wars, a couple of new Star Wars boxcars down over here. Pretty cool. Boba Fett, look at that with all the damage on the front of his helmet. So those are going to be popular. Then Area 51 railroad version of the Phantom. We've been getting a lot of requests for more Area 51 merchandise. And then the right-hand side, a couple of trolleys here. And then here's the Happy Halloween. The cars glow in the dark. There's a Whispering Rails set, Station Sound Diner, 2-car set, and a 4-car set. Again, all the cars glow in the dark. And then here's an AC9 decorated for Halloween, Twilight Limited. The orange stripe on the side. Road number 3131. Crazy. Then back here again, Halloween. Here's like the what's his name? The engine and passenger cars. Hogwarts Express, right? Looks like that kind of a set. This is a new set. And here is a hopper car that glows, illuminated. So a few more Halloween cars to add to your collection. Back here, some more Transylvania flat with trailers, Whispering Rails caboose. Here's a funeral trolley up above. I'm sorry, a witching yard operating broom factory. Oh my gosh, the imagination these people have. And then here's a beautiful funeral trolley. And a lot of people in there look unhappy, don't they? Yeah. Oh, my gosh. And then some HO boxcars were announced, which I passed that on to my wife and Sam that run the HO stuff. So that's kind of the catalog that came out. I'm really excited about the K4s. I hope you get a chance to go through and take a look at those. So let's see. Let's see. Got some comments over here, maybe. Let me just real quick. Hello, Tom. Hello, Otis. Hello, Gilberto. How are you today, buddy? Hello, Robert. Hello, Brett. Hello, Curve Master. So he's asking about connecting the base 3 to the WTIU. Okay, so if you have the new WTIU and you've got a base 3 and you want to connect the two together, if you put the software update on the WTIU, you can use the cable that came in the box with the base 3 and you're up and running. So you only need the new cables that MTH announced if you're trying to connect back to a base 2 version, for example. But the cable that's in with the base 3 will do it. You can hook it right up. So let's see. We talked about this a second ago, I think. So the Lionel prices that are in the catalogs right now that have been announced include the tariff charges. And Lionel did a price increase in May or June in order to build the tariffs into the new prices on their website and in their catalog and so forth. And so what we did, I'm sure other dealers as well, we honored the pre-order pricing that we had for the Atlantics prior to the price increase that Lionel announced. So we did not raise our list price to anybody that had a pre-order. They could buy it at the original pre-order price plus the tariff, and so that made it still quite a bit cheaper than the new price, and that's what we did. So we added the price on when we invoiced the Atlantics, for example. But the current products that came out this summer, been announced this summer, that are on the website and so forth now include the current tariffs. They're baked into the price. So we won't see, unless the tariffs change, we won't see a price change at the time of delivery. So that helps. So let's see. Sound problems, a lot of static. Am I better now? I hope I am. I think I am. Way better, it says. Thank you. Yeah, I like the pilot versions. I think those are going to be popular. I don't know. How am I going to sort out which ones to get? I don't know. What do you think, Rocky, about the K4s? Love those sound cars. Yep. I just wish they offered 4 sound cars without the loco. Well, the sound cars that are in that set with the K4, I think the intent on that next page was you could basically build the same set without the K4. And I didn't look to see if the sound cards are the same or not. My fault. But yeah, okay. But those separate sale cars don't have sound. All right, that's good to know. Well, maybe we'll do a set breakup. You never know, right? Hello, Kevin. You like the overnight set? I do too. I like the overnight set a lot. I think it's beautiful. And I'm really, after looking at the K4s, I'm pretty excited about it. And I'm excited about the Pennsylvania passenger cars, both the heavyweights and the aluminum cars. I think that's going to be great. So anyway, nice catalog. Thank you, Lionel. I'm really excited about it. We got them out there. All the products are on our website. You can go to Lionel's website, Lionel.com, and right on the front page is the catalog. You can click on it and go through and take a look at the pages yourself. As we already discovered, you can click on the images and make them bigger. So I wish I'd figured that out before I got on here. But looks pretty good. So anyway, that's the news from Muffin Land. Hope everybody's well, having a good day. Anybody nearby, don't forget, next week, Friday and Saturday, 24th and 25th, we're doing our hobby show here in Atlanta, Indiana. Not just trains, too. We've got other hobbies to show. We got a whole bunch of seminars planned and a lot of vendors. We've sold out of tables, and so we're looking forward to having a big show. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. Well, that's it. Good news. All right. Thank you all. Talk to you again soon. Thanks for tuning in.